Hello guys, welcome back to Data Crafting Lab. Trust you're able to learn one or two things in my previous lesson. I really appreciate you all. In this lesson, we'll be discussing join. Firstly, what is join? Join in SQL allows you to combine rows from two or more tables based on a related column between them. Now, if I click on this customers table now these are rows now. This is row 1, let's say row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, and so on. These are columns. This is column ID, column underscore ID, customer underscore ID, store underscore ID, first underscore name, last underscore name, email, address underscore ID, and so on. These are the columns, while these are the rows. Now, we have different types of join now. We have the inner join, the left join, right join, and full outer join. Now, let's take those things one after the other. Now, we said join allows you to combine rows from two or more tables based on a related column between them. So a what? A table. These are the rows, these are rows, these are column, and these are column. Now, something that are similar now, that they are related, you can actually use a what? A join based on it. Now, let's see some examples under it now. So let's start with the inner join. Inner join, hit on enter. Now, this is the question we have here now. Get customer names and the titles of themes they rented. Now, how do we go about this? Now, we are still on what? On our Sakila database now. Now, if you look at this question now, get customer names and the titles of the themes they rented. Now, this question is related to what? Customers table. Now, we'll be using our customers table to what? To work on this what? This question now. Now, first thing, let's select now. If you look at this question, we'll be working along with what? With the customers table. We will be needing what? Rent table, theme, and also let's see what we have under customers table now. First, let's see what we have. These are our customers table. Now, we have customer ID, store ID, first name, last name, email, address, active, create underscore date, and last update. Now, let's see our theme now, theme table now. Now, if you look at the theme table now, we have theme underscore ID, title, description, release year, language ID, original language ID, renter duration, renter rate, length, replacement cost, rating, special features, last update. Now, let's see what's actually common. Now, let's see our rent now. Let's see our renter. Now, based on our renter now, we have renter underscore ID, renter date, inventory underscore ID, customer ID. Now, we have customer ID here. In our customer, we have customer ID too. Something is similar there now. Now, let's see inventory now. Those goods, we have theme ID here and we have theme ID here. So we have film ID here. So there's something similar between what? Inventory, that's inventory and what? And the film table. So we'll be using the film underscore ID here along with the film underscore ID under inventory. Now, if you look at this renter now, renter has renter and customer has customer ID, and renter also have what? And renter also has what? Customer ID. So we'll be using customer ID to bind what? Renter and what? Customers table, while film and what? Inventory will be using film underscore ID. Now let's get to work. Now for the customer now, let's say C should represent customer. Select, let's say dot first underscore name, comma, let's select customer. Let's pick the last name also, last underscore name. Now, if you look at the question, they said get the customer's names. Now, that's where we'll be using the first name, last name, and the title. So, under the film now, what do we have here now? For the film, do we have title here? We have title. So, let's come back here. Let's say film, that's F should represent film, title, title. Now, for this now, let's say from customer, that's C. Let's customer represent C. That's where we actually put those ones from. Now, what are we joining? Inner. That means we are joining within a what? A database. Inner join. Now, what are we joining? Let's say renter should be R on what? On C. That's customer. That's customer ID. These are the things we actually want to bring out for the columns. Now, what will it equals to what? Equals to renter dot customer ID. That's what is similar to both of them, customer ID. Now, another thing we'll be joining again is inner join inventory, inventory. Now, this inventory, let's represent it with I. On what? What are we joining with? On renter dot inventory ID. So they both have inventory ID because that's the so the first one will be the renter. So that's the second table will come first. That's if you are starting with inventory now. So the first and the second table, that's what will come first. That's the renter. So what's similar? That's the inventory ID. Dot. That's for the inventory now. Inventory underscore ID. Now, let's join the last table. Inner join. Now, this will be for film. Film table now. Film, can just click on this. Film, let's represent that with F. What are we joining on? On dot this inventory dot What's common? That's film ID, film underscore ID equals film dot film underscore ID. So let's run this. Let's see what we have. Now you can see it now. The first name, the last name, this is the title. This is it said get customer's name and the titles of the film they rented. So Joe Francisco. Now he actually rented what? Academy. Actually limit it. Let's see the first end of it. Now limit it, sorry. Now let's limit it to 10 now. Control enter. You can just see now. So it's still Joe Francisco now, Gabriel Ada, and so on and so forth. Now these are the 10 what top 10 of those first 10 that actually what rented the movie. Now let's see example on what left join now. Left join. Now look at this question now. They said all films with or without rental info. All films with or without rental info. Now let me just use and run this as comments. Now you can enter. They said all films with or without rental info. Now we'll be needing our what? Our rental table. Let's see now. Our rental table along with the what? With the film table now. Probably with the inventory. Now let's select. Now before I proceed, a left join returns all the records from the left table and the match records from the right table. If there are no match now, for instance now, if there are no match in a table, the left join will actually, the result of it will actually result from the left from the right table, which will be null. Now let's see this example now. Let's see whether it will be null or not now. Now we don't actually want to bring out the whole of the what? The whole of the tables. Now that's why we will just say, let's say CN select C for customer ID, customer underscore ID, comma. Now C dot first name underscore name underscore name, comma. Oh, sorry. I made a mistake here. Select. Now we'll be using our film and our renter. So let's say f dot title, comma. That means we don't want to pick the whole of the two tables. We're actually picking title from the film table and what? And from the renter table now, that's r dot renter ID. We want our renter ID out. That's called ID. Hit enter. Now from which table now? From film. From film. That's F. From film table, that's what we are selecting from. Now the left join, this is what we'll be using now. Left join, now on our left join now, we'll be picking the inventory Now that's representing I is representing the inventory on. Now what are we joining with? That's film. From the film now we are looking at the film underscore id. Now equals what? So that's the inventory now. Now come. So what are we picking from the inventory table too? That's film underscore id. Film underscore id. Now, so we've joined this inventory table along with the what? With the film table now. Now let's join this also. Left join. Now the renter now. Renter has R on what are we joining it? So we are picking the inventory now. Inventory underscore id. Along with what? Now the renter now will now come in equals renter. What are we picking from the renter? That was inventory underscore id. Now let's put a semicolon, control enter. Now you can see now these are the titles of the film and also their renter id. So you can just decide to limit it if you feel like. Limit to let's say 5. Let's say it on 5. Now these are the what? We've actually limited it to what? To 5. Now so we've decided to what? Join what? We've selected the what? The title from what? From film, renter id from renter, and from what? From films table. Now we can decide to add more to it. Now let's say we put a comma here now. We said let's see what we have under our renter now. Let's put return date now. You can just say r dot return date. Sorry, return date. Now you can see it now. This is their renter ID and this is their return date. That will be all for this lesson. See you in the next lesson. Bye for now. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, click on the notification bell. When I drop a new video, you get notified. Give us a thumb up when you like any of our video. Drop your comment in the comment section.